everybody! Live from the Xfinity Lounge and presented by Bet365 and Ashley, this is the PHLY Eagles post-game show, and for the first time in a very long time, we are talking about a loss as the Philadelphia Eagles blow a 17-3 lead and fall 21-17. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to hear from Fran Duffy. We're going to hear from EJ Smith, who's going to talk to what I imagine is a bewildered locker room at the LINC. We're going to hear from you, the fans, and a terrible weekend in Philly sports continues. Let's send it around the horn. Jamie Lynch, Super Bowl champion, Vinny Curry. Vinny, what is your big takeaway from this blown lead loss?
I'm pissed. I mean, we put the game in the ref hands. The refs officiated a terrible game. I'm straight pissed.
Jamie, how about you?
Throw these refs in jail. I mean, I hate to come on and immediately go to the refs because, look, there was the Eagles offense after the Saquon touchdown. I think they did three and outs in a row, if I'm not mistaken, for negative yardage. So that's where the game was lost, and the Eagles do deserve some blame in this. But I thought the way that game was officiated down the stretch in the crucial nature of the plays, like that Saquon Barkley illegal motion play, like go to hell. Like, that had no effect on the play. It was a beautiful fade to DeVonta Smith. They come up with it.
They robbed DeVonta. Yeah.
And it's a ticky-tack, like, just gross call. Because sometimes situationally, you just have to eat it, right? Like, you can technically call a play, an illegal play on almost every play in the NFL. Sometimes when the game is on the line, to decide something on a ticky-tack is just so lame. It's just such a bad taste in your mouth.
I think the Eagles have themselves to blame for this game.
Sure, absolutely.
But if we're going to talk about the refs, what you want is consistency, right? And if that is a ticky-tack call, you then should also make the ticky-tack, like the penalty, the PI on Dallas Goedert on the second to last play of the game. That's a
he got
very
dragged
obvious
down.
Pass interference. Picking up that
ridiculous
that intentional grounding to me was insane. And they didn't even explain it. It was like they wanted to avoid getting booed to not announce it to the crowd. I think the refs did not have a very good game, but the Eagles have themselves to blame for this. And I think what is interesting about the way that this game shaked out for the Eagles is it was very much, okay, this is how you wanted us to play, right? And look what happened, right? This Eagles offense, this was the most pass heavy they've been since Saquon Barkley got here. And, there were a lot of first down passes, a higher rate than they've ever had since Saquon Barkley got here. Jalen Hurts attempts 38 passes. Saquon Barkley has 6 rushing attempts. Now, a couple of them were called back for penalty, but that disparity is obviously wide. And still, I thought the offense looked good in this game. DeVonta Smith, 8 for 114, not even including the big fourth down catch that was called back. A.J. Brown, 5 for 43. And to me, Vinny, like the poetry of the final play of the game falling incomplete because DeVonta Smith and A.J. Brown are fighting over the ball and both have their hands on it is like a little bit too on the nose.
Man, that last play was crazy. But then if you come back a couple plays, I don't know if it was overthrown or A.J. stops running.
He stopped running.
That was the dagger. That would have been the dagger of the whole game. That was the momentum swing. That was the game changer.
And that's one where, like, like I'm saying,
that ball was on the money.
This is what you wanted, right? And if AJ has been mad at Jalen for some things that have gone on and balls not coming his way, when you watch that one on film this week, Jalen is going to have a right to be mad at AJ. Like, you wanted the ball. This would have been a touchdown if you didn't slow up.
Yeah, you can't really go around bitching and moaning about not getting targets and then give up on a route. Like, there was a clear stall in that route, and that ball's probably on the money to him if he finishes the route.
AJ finishes 5 catches for 43 yards, matched up with Patrick Surtain all day, did draw a pass interference that set up a touchdown for him. So he was not ineffective in this game, and also the attention that he drew from Surtain meant that DeVonta was able to have his biggest game. But yeah, I mean, listen, you can't be blowing a 17-point, a 14-point fourth quarter lead to Bo Nix.
The injuries on the offensive line hurt us.
Good point.
You can't give up that many sacks like that in a game like this. Man, we just kept them in the game. We kept them around too long. And when you keep a good football team in the game and around too long, this is the type of things that happen. You just can't do it.
Yeah, Nick Bonito with 2.5 sacks on the day. I think this is the first time our offensive line is human in a long time.
This season. not just today.
Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, this season as a whole, I think we're just experiencing a very good offensive line, maybe one that's beat up and not at 100%, but it's not like superhuman like we've been used to.
And yet, to me, and let us know what you say in the chat, who you think is to blame and what you think is to blame, and make sure that you're subscribing to the channel and all of that good stuff. To me, I put this game more on the defense, because this defense is supposed to be awesome, and it really was awesome through 3 quarters. And the 2 touchdown drives they give up at the end, just like you want your superstars to be able to be superstars on offense. Listen, Quinyon Mitchell and Zack Baun have been awesome this season. They have been arguably the best players at their position. But in the 4th quarter, when this game was on the line, I mean, Zack Baun makes an extremely uncharacteristic, bad decision to hit the runner after he's down. I know that that's a little ticky-tack, but that was he did hit him. He couldn't do that.
That was pathetic.
It was a bad decision on his part. And then Quinyon, there's a 3rd down with he's matched up with Courtland Sutton, and he lost a couple matchups with Courtland Sutton in this game. And that play in particular, I thought was disappointing. So listen, just like the offense should hold up their end of the bargain, I'm disappointed in what we saw from the 4th quarter defense.
Man, and they was on the field long.
They weren't on the field that much. They played well in the first 3 quarters. Also, I know he's hurt, but where is Jalen Carter?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm pissed, bro. Then if the refs are gonna be ticky tacky, how many missed holding penalties did they miss out there? You know,
Sure.
This is crazy.
Yeah, that Zack Baun one. Like, I hear you, dumb, but like he is still he's still
no. He can't. That's a penalty. It is.
I know, but it's so lame.
It's lame, but it's dumb.
But he's still lounging forward, trying to get an additional yard or 2.
No, there is a half second. Zack Baun is a superhero. He sees things quickly. He reacts super quickly. He can do better than that.
That's just not going to sit well, like, in my mouth all week. Like those penalties. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a loser right now talking about the refs, because the Eagles did control this and it was preventable. But like there was at least 4 to 5 different plays in that where the referees decided outcomes of the game.
Right. I think we're both saying it just was no sense of urgency. You know, and it was like, oh, we about to breeze through this, because they were up, and to see the Broncos score that fast in the 5 or 6 minutes, that was crazy.
I mean, Bo Nix had 87 passing yards near the end of the 3rd quarter.
Oh my God!
And then just entirely changed.
Crazy.
And to your urgency point, Vinny, you know, Jalen Hurts was sacked how many times in this game?
5-6 times.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 or 6 times in this game. And a lot of them came on 3rd down. And I didn't think that the drive-ending ones were that bad. Like, you know, like those happen sometimes. And we saw the Eagles drop back to pass on 3rd and long more than they have.
That 4th quarter sack, though, he hold on to the ball just a little
But I'll tell you what, man, they're down 4 points. This is the chance to have, you know, the surprise come from behind game-winning drive. They're at their own 25 with 1:06 left and no timeouts. And the first play of that drive, you're taking that sack. I thought Jalen was very good in this game, and I almost totally flipped on that play. Like, you cannot take that sack. It is insane. And they were so lollygaggy. Then the next play is a little dump down to Saquon. I know they ended up almost scoring, but the first 2 plays of that drive were awful.
Man, and what an opportunity to win. Like you said, they pulled Dallas down. If they call that call, we're right there. What's that, the 4-yard line?
Yeah.
You can't put the game in the refs' hands, bro. You can't. I just no way.
They were so clearly the better team in this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have our instant reaction piece up and on allphly.com. It's free for all, but you should become a diehard to get the great writing that our staff does. But one of the points I made was just like, it felt like you were the better team 95% of the game. And you just let it slip away. It all happened so quick. Everything just started going wrong. It like snowballed on them. It avalanched really quickly.
Then watching it from a TV copy, listen, the NFL got to do better. Between Tom Brady and Tony Romo games, I'm like, damn. Because obviously you see that they don't like the Eagles, bro. It's starting to get a little annoying.
I don't disagree with you. Romo, is maddening. There was the play in the first half where he's getting on Jalen for not throwing that ball to DeVonta on the scramble drill, and he's like, well, he's about to pop open here. Meanwhile, they play the tape, and like AJ's guy goes in the exact same area. Would have been a terrible decision, probably an interception. No comment from him. Just, I mean, we can have enough of Romo being lauded as, he had one good year and has stopped paying attention since then. All right, let's get to the super chats, because I know that Philadelphia is feeling some kind of way right now. I don't know what the crowd is going to be like at Citizens Bank.
On edge.
It's going to be on edge. But let's get to
Julia will be there.
Let's get to the super chats here. Pat Phoenix says offensive issues are on Hurts today. Inaccurate, held the ball forever, and took bad sacks. I thought that Jalen was in control of what, I haven't watched the tape yet, but what was there for him today. And when he was holding the ball, he was being protected well. I just, those third down sacks, I don't know if there were people for him to throw to, but that last possession did kind of drive me nuts.
Yeah, I think like accuracy wise today, I thought he was on point. Like that DeVonta ball was really nice. The one that was the Jahan Dotson ball was like beautiful.
Saquon.
Yeah.
The DeVonta deep ball was on the money.
The Saquon touchdown.
The Saquon touchdown. I thought like throwing the ball, he had a really good day. It just that one sack is going to kind of gnaw at you all week.
Kenneth Bush says, is it just me, or does the Saquon illegal shift not happen if they have better play clock management? Well, that's an interesting one, because they were to the line quite early on that play. And I think they did make a concerted effort in this game to get to the line quicker. Earlier. I don't know if that's a teaching point. I don't know. It's not Saquon that they're calling it on. It's one of the other receivers also shifting at the same time.
Yeah. I think it was DeVonta closest to the sideline on the TV.
Well, it looked like he just was getting set, moving his hands. I guess you can't move at all.
And that is
brutal.
Just brutal, because what a play from DeVonta that is.
Play.
And DeVonta, again, 8 catches for 114 in this game. You bump that up, that would have been like 9 for 140 or something like that. He was awesome in this game.
Yes,
he was.
Michael Nittickman says the missed defensive holding call on Goddard before the PI was at least as much jersey hold as was called on Q. Not the only reason we lost, but frustrating.
Yeah,
I agree with him. Michael, I agree with you, bub. Like you said, if you're going to call ticky-tack on both sides, man.
Now, for the record, in this game, the Broncos called for 12 penalties that amounted to 121 yards, whereas the Eagles were called for 9 for 55.
Well, those 9 for 55 were like all at crucial points of the game.
Points.
Yes, and it's the one that was picked up that hurts as well.
That's ridiculous. How do you pick that up?
Oh my God.
Pat Phoenix checks in again.
What do you say, Pat Phoenix?
There we go. Return game, an underrated big problem. Bad field position, drive after drive after drive. They did have the one long Shipley return. I'll tell you what also was a hidden bad play in this game. That terrible short punt from Braden Mann, who has been so good this season.
Before half?
No, after the penalty on after the illegal shift penalty, they have to punt on 4th and 9. Although I don't know if they had to punt. I think they could have still gone for it.
My cousin texted me immediately. He's like, they still should have gone for that.
I think there's a good case to be made for that. And then Braden Mann punts. They're still starting like at their 30. It was an awful punt.
Yeah, I think he started limping after that too.
Did he?
I think so.
Maybe he had to fake limp after that battle. Like, guys, sorry. I would do the same thing.
Oh,
Fresh Prince, the Zack Baun penalty reminded me of the BG late hit when Taylor Heineke slid behind the line so he wouldn't get sacked. Harvey was trying to extend.
Yeah, I hated that one. Like,
it's almost like a flop.
Yeah, and like he got his shoulder down first. Like it wasn't helmet to helmet. Like I don't know what the hell you're supposed to do there. The guy's lunging forward, still trying to get a yard.
He throws the shoulder a little bit. I mean, what he's doing is if Harvey is up, that's your chance to get the ball loose.
Sure.
Right? Like that's what they're taught. That's how you create turnovers, is when a guy is held up, then go for the ball. Right, Vinny?
Right.
But I think he had enough time to see that he was down. I will see if EJ gets a chance to talk to Zack Baun. Knowing Zack Baun, I think he's gonna take, the credit for that himself. I think he's gonna say he needed to be smarter.
Then it's what, a 4th and 1, and they're probably kicking the field goal there.
Probably. Although Peyton might have rolled the dice, but I think they're probably kicking.
Sean Payton did put him on the line a little bit with that 2-point conversion today.
Yeah.
He slapped him down on the table, and I mean that's. I'll tip my cap to that.
I like that strategy because there was like the perfect amount of time left where it was going to mess up everybody's like. Maybe it's kind of him like thinking I'm smarter than Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be able to adjust to this better than he is. I thought that was a fine decision.
Yeah, if I was a
obviously it
Broncos
worked
fan,
out,
I would have
but
been
yeah.
nervous as hell. But once you get it, it's awesome. You love your coach when they do something like that.
Another super chat from JH says Birds didn't deserve a win and the refs insured it. I mean,
Yeah, I kind of agree
written.
with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cash Squatch, no pass rush. Howie needs to make a move. We did get
Yeah.
I will have to agree on that.
Okay.
Nothing really popped out on the screen from the.
You know
Two
Trey,
sack.
Trey Hendrickson? Are you buddies with him at all? Want to
No.
shoot him a text and tell him how great Philadelphia is?
Maybe we should send him some cheesesteaks.
We got some beef sticks down here. We can send him a box
we're
of
gonna open
Righteous
those
Felons.
in a little
You
bit.
know. But
Yeah, I mean,
They do need some help.
they need some help. Part of the issue is they're not getting what they were expecting to get inside. Now, Jordan Davis did not play.
He was
ton
out a lot
snaps
of
in
the
this
first
game.
half.
I don't know what the deal is with that. But Jalen Carter. Now, listen, the Broncos' interior offensive line is very good. Quinn Miners, the right guard, is an All-Pro caliber player. But through 5 games, Jalen Carter, I mean, he's clearly injured. But that and so it's not a blame on him necessarily, as much as it is the structure of the defensive line was built on the idea that Jalen Carter would be a game wrecker, and he hasn't been, and that has put everybody else in a tougher spot.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. I mean, I don't know if he's getting doubled at the rate he has been in the past or not, but he's certainly not impacting the game like we expected this
You
year.
know, he needs somebody else to step up on the line.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a Robin, and we have yet to see a Robin emerge yet consistently.
Just 2 sacks in the game for the Eagles. They didn't, Zadarius Smith had the first full sack for an edge rusher for the Eagles this entire season. If the Eagles make a move here, Vinny, like, is that somewhere where you think that somebody can make an impact right away?
100%. You have to, it's like Jamie's saying, you have to see what Trey's up to. See if he like onions on his cheesesteak or not. You gotta make a move like that, because at the end of the day, you gotta put some pressure off the interior guys, and you gotta be able to win your one-on-ones off the edge.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly an expensive move if you're going to make it. But you'd be doing Trey Hendrickson a favor with the Joe Burrow-less Bengals, getting him out of there. Do you think, Bo? I mean, you have good Howie's
Howie's going to do something.
He's going to do something.
And that is certainly the most plug-and-play thing to do. Corners on the table as well.
I was about to say, I want, and then I think, to throw a little salt on our wound. You see Slay down there supporting his old teammates.
Yeah, how about that? If you haven't seen this, Darius
damn,
Slay at the game
Steelers
today,
is on the bye
tailgating.
week.
Yeah,
He's there supporting, and it's like, damn, go ahead and suit up, man, like Clark Kent, So,
yeah. I mean, he could have just thrown a jersey on; they would have known.
Yeah.
Right?
It's Slay Darius from the practice squad. He got called up.
Yeah, I mean, he probably could have gotten away. Mac McWilliams. You just pretend that Mac McWilliams shaved his hair.
Yeah,
turned into Darius Slay. It's possible. Tim Burgoyne. What are the chances Patullo and Sirianni learn the wrong lesson from this game and go back to a run-heavy offense? That's what I feel that in my bones, Tim, is that this was like, okay, like this is, let's pretend that there was a conversation this week between Jeffrey Lurie and Nick Sirianni being like, you need to pass the ball more. These are the guys we have, figure out what this team is like. And so this is the game plan they put together. And listen, they moved the ball very well in this game. We saw the RPOs return, which made a huge impact in the Eagles' efficiency on offense. They didn't run the ball very well. And so now, you have Nick coming back in this fantasy being like, see, I told you, like we got to do the bog offense. That's the only thing that's going to work. I don't know. I would be a little bit worried about that too.
Yeah, it's definitely been in the back of my head a little bit after taking this L.
Fresh Prince. Another thing, when Shipley brought that last kickoff out of the end zone, we lost 10 yards of starting field position and 5 seconds off the clock. That's a great point. If they kick it into the end zone, I think you got to down that. I think you're probably right. Eddie Poe, how much longer of a leash do we give Patullo? I didn't think Patullo, I know that I may not be popular for this opinion. I didn't think he called a bad game today.
Yeah, I didn't have any like surface level things I disagreed with.
I mean, I know that in the fourth quarter, people will say you got to run the ball more when you have that lead. There were 2 times when he did run the ball, and then they got a penalty. So you're not going to run the ball on 1st and 15.
And then it's hard
Right.
to run the ball. You got backups in.
Right. We haven't even. Yeah, you're right. We've
Steen.
danced around it. We didn't say Landon Dickerson left this game in the first quarter or second quarter and did not return. So Brett Toth played the whole game at left guard. I didn't think he was terrible, but he did have a holding call that brought back a first down for the Eagles, I believe.
Had a on the RPO.
Tyler Steen on the RPO. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
so.
I guess that's impossible for Tyler Steen to kind of know there that it ends up being a running play.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's not impossible. That's coached. This happened all the time a couple years ago.
Yeah,
they're coached to not go all the way down if it's an RPO. Like that is a bad job by Steen.
Okay.
Turtle, which is another example of Romo not knowing what's going on. Turtle, the team has been unusually undisciplined all season and injured all season. Is this the Super Bowl hangover we've been worried about? I think the undisciplined thing is a good point here because they have had a lot of uncharacteristic, like really bad situational football awareness penalties. I don't think that that's unfair.
No, that's fine.
And I just think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago here, with all the tush push and everything is being like under a microscope. They're calling any and everything on us, you know. So we have to be a little bit smarter than that. That's
By
just
the
how
way,
the league operates. 2
games in a row now, the Eagles have not run a single tush push.
Yeah, our tush push counter is not getting any work.
Yeah, how about that?
That might be the upset of the year right there. 2 games in a row without a tush push. Wow.
All right. Well, with all of that, it's time to take our first break to hear from some sponsors. On the other side, we will be joined by Fran's Film Room. The Duff Man is going to break down some of the big things that happened in this game. Nobody sees it better than the Duff Man. We'll talk to him after these words from our sponsors. So Sean Payton invites me over to his house the other day. I mean, the place is an absolute disaster. He's got a disco ball in his man cave. There's like beer cans strewn all over the place. He says, I want you to come over and watch this game. All right, fine, whatever, Sean. Then I get there, awful. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find the game. He claimed he was a big fan. Turns out I was fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place, and the way that you watch is next level. It's the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. So clear it feels like you're in the stadium. Sometimes you can even get 4 games going at once because why not? And on top of that, you get real-time notifications and live stats right on your TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
All right, Philly, listen up because there's a new snack that is shaking up things in the snack game. You can ask my girls who personally love the Righteous Felon meat sticks. And when I send them to school in the morning, they request them. They're that good. I have right here the OG Hickory, which is one of our favorites by far. But these guys have been running a flavor racket for over a decade, and they're a local company. They're slinging bold, rebellious, small batch meats made with real ingredients and zero shortcuts. And these meat sticks, they're perfect snack size, 8 to 9 grams of protein. They have a ton of flavors from lemon pepper turkey, fiery habanero, the street taco pork, and the OG hickory. You can grab all 4 flavors at righteousfelon.com and use code PHLY20 to get 20% off your first order. They also have 2-ounce jerky bags that you can get 2 for $10 at Wawa, which is an absolute bargain in the jerky world. And you can also find them at Giant, Royal Farms, and thousands of independent stores across the country. Righteous Felon, high protein, bold flavor, no BS.
All right. Back on the PHLY Eagles post-game show live from the Xfinity Lounge. And we send it now to Fran Duffy, the All-City NFL Draft analyst, our Eagles expert. And this, of course, is presented by our friends at PHLY, Fran's Film Room. It's time to open up this bad boy and bring in the Duff Man. Fran, how are you? Good to see you.
What's up, Fran?
What's up, guys? Yeah, obviously, look, it's going to be a little bit of a different feel for this breakdown. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, the Eagles have been living in this world where they win all of these one-score games. And if you are going to live in this world where you are going to play close games, you can't shoot yourself in the foot the way that they did with these penalties and with these mistakes on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. They made too many mistakes to come away with a win here.
Fran, I feel like somebody stole my dog.
Well, they
no
don't,
ransom
the
note
big
either.
thing here's the big thing about that too, Vinny, is that you know how this goes. Like, you can't let Denver beat you twice. You have a short week turnaround getting ready for the Giants on Thursday night. This is one where, like, this is going to hurt, I would imagine. So I would imagine those guys in the locker room right now don't feel too good, but they don't have a long time to let that sit.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of good news that they have to turn the page quickly, and you get the Giants coming up on Thursday, who lost in New Orleans to the Saints today. All right, let's talk a little bit about some of these penalties and these mistakes, Fran. And you do have some insight into what happened on that illegal shift penalty that on 4th and 4,
Garbage.
which was going to be just an unbelievable catch from DeVonta Smith. Unfortunately, they didn't have all their their I's dotted and their T's crossed.
No, and we've talked about some of the sloppiness on offense over the last couple of weeks when we've done our tape breakdown episodes on Mondays, and this is a good example of just not being as detail oriented as you need to be. And this time it came back to bite them. And I actually thought that Romo, look, I'm with you that he did not have his best day, but he was on it for this one, because if you go to the NFL rule book and you look at the illegal shift, rule, and they've got videos with all these rules. One of the things that they show in the video is that if another wide receiver is adjusting pre-snap before a motion happens or before a shift happens, then it is incumbent on that second receiver. And he doesn't know, but he has to come to a full stop for at least a full beat before that ball is snapped. And we actually have the video of that play, I should say the stills from that play. So Julia, if you're able to go to motion 1 here on this play, and again, Romo pointed this out before this, at the snap of the ball, or right before the snap of the ball, rather. Bottom of the screen, you can see that you've got Jahan Dotson there, and he's checking with the ref to make sure that he is on the line of scrimmage or off the line of scrimmage. And before Saquon Barkley comes in motion, he steps up and adjusts his stance. As soon as that happens, well, now Saquon Barkley, he can't be in motion at the snap of the ball. So Saquon's going to come down to the bottom of the screen, and then he's going to go back to back into the backfield, and he's not in motion. So if we go to the next shot here, this is after he returns. You can see the ball is being snapped here from Cam Jurgens, and Saquon is not set. And so this was a good penalty. This was the right call by the officials here. And literally, if you go into the NFL, if you do a quick Google search of NFL illegal shift penalty, one of the clips they show is like this is a penalty. And I believe it was Tyreek Hill in the Dolphins game where he does a little return motion, goes into the slot. He doesn't sit after the receiver had adjusted pre-snap. It was the right call.
So, Fran, do you think it is taught to Saquon that he needs to stop for a beat just in case somebody else has adjusted? Or do you think it's because he can't know?
He can't know. Yeah.
But you should protect against it anyway, right?
And that's the thing in terms of like, where were they in the play clock? That could be a Jalen Hurts and Cam Jurgens thing, right? Because maybe the snap timing is off on this one.
Right.
And it goes back to that one play that we watched of, I think it was the first run of the game last week. We did every single run last week against the Bucs, and like the snap timing was off on the Calcaterra motion where he's coming back, and now he's got to like completely take a detour into the backfield. That could be on the snap operation. It could be on the quarterback. It could be on Saquon Barkley, or it could just be like Jahan Dotson, line up right? And that's the tough part about us on the outside. And we'll see if we get any kind of explanation from that in the post-game press conferences.
I know we're not going to break down the stills of these, but what did you think of the intentional grounding call being picked up and the Zack Baun call and the Dallas Goedert no call on the second to last play?
So the Dallas Goedert no call was brutal. That's and it's one of those, like, in that moment, is the ref really going to throw the flag? But if you are throwing the flag earlier in the game, like, you kind of need to throw it. I thought it was very funny. I mean, it's not funny for most of the people watching this, but I thought it was very funny that they did not announce that they picked up the flag on the intentional grounding.
So funny.
I agree with you. It was it very much seemed like they're avoiding getting booed off the field in this situation.
I mean, you got to take the music. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. To me, like, yes, that one, it's brutal from that respect. I could have gone either way on that one, and they were split on the broadcast, and you could see it either way. I felt like it was grounding, at first blush, but what are you going to do? And that's the thing with officiating, man. Like, you're going to get some games where it goes your way. You're going to get some games where it doesn't. And this one, clearly, there were a handful that did not go the Eagles' way. I did think that the Zack Baun penalty, that was a penalty. Like, he's down on the ground. Baun came in late. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh, are they going to flag him? And of course, they ended up throwing it late.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I hated that one so much, Fran. Because, like, he's still lunging forward. I know by definition it's a penalty, but it's so freaking lame.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those where, like, as a defensive player, and Vinny, like, this, like, in the heat of the moment, like, you're just trying to go and make a stop. You're trying to bring up fourth down.
Yeah,
it was a split second too late.
All right, let's get to something that happened on defense in this game, which is it felt like when the Broncos offense did start to get going in the fourth quarter, some of that was attacking Keely Ringo, especially on the 2-point conversion play, which gave them what turned out to be the game-winning score. Let's break that play down, Fran.
Yeah, so they come out, and basically, if we go to the first shot here, Julia, it's 2.1. So basically, they come out, and obviously, it's a 2-point play. So you got the ball down on the 2-yard line, and it's going to be off play action. And play action is like a long developing play, so kind of gutsy to call it here in this situation. And, 2-point play, it could be fast moving. You want to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands fast, but this is going to be a quick route and a quick throw here from Bo Nix. But when you have the receiver from a tight split, if you are Keely Ringo on this play, the receiver does have a two-way go. He takes that first step out of his stance as if he's going to run a crossing route across the field. And Troy Franklin, that's one of the things he does best, is he's going to run those crossing routes from left to right as a horizontal stretch player. And so Keely is going to play outside leverage, and he's going to try and stay on his back hip. But then if you go to the next shot here, really like one step, puts his foot in the ground and breaks opposite. And it's a very untraditional route. It's not one that you see often. I would say, like, if I was watching one-on-ones during training camp or down at the Senior Bowl and a receiver ran this route, I would say, yeah, but like, you don't run that in a game. Like, you never see this route. It was a nice route, a nice call against a bigger corner that isn't as like quick in transition as Quinyon Mitchell or as Cooper DeJean. Like, that one of the weaknesses from a physical standpoint for Keely Ringo is that he's not as smooth in transition laterally as a smaller corner would be, right? But he loses leverage here, and Franklin's able to get to the pylon, and you go to the last shot, and Keely's out leveraged, and he loses here on this play. It was a great play call, great route. That to me, that's a tip of the cap play to the defense or to the offense.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think you could tell part of the reason Peyton went for that is because he had a play in mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Right. He had that. He was like, yeah, this will be good to run here.
This is going to work.
Hey, Fran, you think bad timing? They picked on Ringo that second half, and then Slay's at the game watching. I'm like, oh, you could come on.
Well, and honestly, like, because you look over at Quinyon Mitchell too, and you say that look, and all of those back shoulder throws, like that was great coverage from Quinyon. He's just losing in the low post, right? Like, sometimes the other guy's just bigger, and I think that showed up here with Cortland Sutton. Quinyon played a good game. He was not as productive as he was last week against Igbuka, but he just lost in the low post 3 or 4 times on quick back shoulder throws in rhythm from Bo Nix. And that was one of the big differences in the game because it happened on a number of key situations.
Right. I thought Q fought his ass off,
Yeah.
But that last drive, especially with the 2-point conversion, they picked on Ringo 3 times in that drive.
Yeah, I would imagine that offensive coordinator, because especially like we talked about this last week when Tampa, they just kept targeting Quinyon Mitchell and kept targeting Cooper DeJean. And it's, I don't know, it's like, I don't want to say coaching malpractice is probably a little severe, but I don't know. You probably want to go at like the other side of the field. And I think Sean Payton probably took that one as far as notice, like, all right, that's something, let's avoid doing that whenever we can.
Fran, now I know tomorrow you may or may not get into this further, but what was your gut reaction on the A.J. Brown deep ball route stop? It looked like if he had kind of finished that route 100%, Jalen might have been right on the money. We might be talking about a W right now. What was your initial reaction to that?
Yeah, that looked to me as if AJ didn't think he was going to be getting the ball in that spot, and he slowed up, and that all it took was that one little hesitation, and all of a sudden it's an overthrow. That's what it looked like on first blush. I'll go back to the film and see, because we only got that one shot of it, and I was trying to find a better one on replay or on social. I couldn't find a good one there, but I think when they go back and rewatch that. That will be one of the like what if plays from this game. And honestly, I was looking at some next gen numbers, guys. Well, I was waiting to come on, and you might be surprised by this one. Jalen Hurts in this game. Hold on, let me pull this up. Jalen Hurts in this game, he threw the second most deep balls that he's ever thrown. He had 9 deep passes of 20+ air yards in week 10, second most of his career.
Huh.
He completed 2 for 99 yards and a touchdown. It's obviously a huge shift from what we had seen throughout most of the season. This was a big aired out game against an aggressive defense with a good secondary. They were only able to hit on a couple of those. Now, some of that is informed by the fact that like, what if 4 of them happened in the final 2-minute drive? But even still, I mean, it was it seemed to be a point of emphasis here for the Eagles and for Jalen Hurts in this one is we are going to be aggressive down the field.
That's bad optics for AJ there.
Well, what I like it's terrible optics
After
for AJ.
this week, they're
gonna put that play up in front of the team, and it's gonna be like, what the hell, man? Like, this is what you wanted.
He was open.
You gotta run.
And here's the thing, right? Is if last week is squashed, if we're all better, then all right, hey, like we're moving on.
Right.
But if it wasn't all squashed and it was still like if that stuff is still lingering, then how much back and forth is there? And that's obviously we don't know that being on the outside.
Well, it's interesting you bring up the all the downfield passes, because this did really feel like they called the game that they think that like Jeffrey Lurie wanted to see to some degree or something like that, right?
Yeah.
The game that everybody's been asking for. They aired the ball out downfield. The RPOs were back. We're going to talk about that in a minute. It was much more pass heavy. I have the numbers here, courtesy of True Media. This was the highest percentage of designed dropbacks for the Eagles offense since A.J. Brown came to the team in 2022. It's also the highest percentage of passes they've had on first down in that time frame as well. 80% pass on first down, which is kind of wild given what we've seen from this team, especially since Saquon got here. What did you make of the general plan of attack today? And was it in any way a function of what the Broncos defense was showing?
Probably a part of that as well. One designed running play in the second half of the game. Like crazy. Now
one is called back for penalty, but yeah.
Yeah, right. But also, like, it's not like they were running it well. They had the 17-yarder in the first half on that stretch toss play to the left. I was actually set to break that one down for the show until the game tilted late in the fourth quarter. But I think when you're looking at this offense and this run game, last week we talked about, maybe they need some kind of philosophical shift. Clearly, they felt like that was necessary because they pivoted in such an extreme way here for this game. I do think that you get into the conversation of, all right, well, those RPOs, like they could have very easily have been handoffs to Saquon Barkley. So, and not even just the ones that came back on penalty, but, a couple of those little bubbles to Dallas or to DeVonta Smith, a couple of the slide routes to Dallas Goedert. I mean, they ran at the very first play of the game. We hadn't seen any RPOs really like most of the season. Yeah. And then they came out and they just spammed it in a couple of different ways here in this one against Denver.
All right. Why don't you break down the Dallas Goedert touchdown? for the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, this was like vintage 2021 Philadelphia Eagles, vintage 2022 Philadelphia Eagles. When you look at what they were able to do with Jalen Hurts and with Dallas Goedert over the course of their careers together early on. Let's go to the first one, Julia. It's got Goddard TD1. And here on this play, you're going to see the mesh point here where, all right, Jalen Hurts is going to read the end man of the line of scrimmage, and he's going to read the second level of the defense as well. How are they playing this here? If you go to the next shot, Julia, you're going to see DeVonta Smith work towards the middle of the field, and he's basically going to set the rub, set the pick for Dallas Goedert. He can't contact this defender, but he is entitled to run his route. So as long as he doesn't contact that number 2 defender, then he's going to be clean here on this play. Dallas Goedert, if we go to the next shot, Dallas Goedert is going to release to the flat. And so now you're probably going to get a pass off between those 2 defenders, but Dallas Goedert's got to have that ability with the head of steam. He's got to cross that defender's face. If you go to the next shot, Julia, you'll see that Dallas is able to win outside. Jalen rolls out. Nice, easy pitch and catch for a touchdown. Again, I mean, they ran this 4 or 5 times a game back in 2021, and back in 2022. This was one of their bread and butter plays, and they were able to hit here for a touchdown. They had all kinds of concepts off of this play. Is this a sign for the future? Maybe we'll see here in the coming weeks.
All right, Fran, any final thoughts or anything that we haven't asked you about that you want to get off your chest?
Yeah, I mean, look, defensively, it was not the cleanest effort in the second half. And a lot of this has to do with some of those key penalties, right? I mean, you have those key penalties, whether it's the picked up intentional grounding, the Zack Baun personal foul. Those are tough to come by. Then the offense is going to make some plays. This is a good team. This is when you're talking about the Denver Broncos. We talked about that this week, where they can beat you in a couple different ways. Their 2 losses this year, I know that they didn't. It wasn't like a sterling schedule in terms of the opponents that they played over the first 4 games, but their 2 losses came in the last second of games. So I think when you're looking at this team, it's a good team. You can't afford to make the mistakes that this team made on both sides of the ball.
All right. That is Fran's Film Room, presented by Ashley Fran. We'll talk to you on Wednesday this week. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Talk to you guys. See you later.
Thanks, Fran.
See you, Fran.
And, of course, you can read Fran Duffy if you become a diehard, which you can do now. Go to allphly.com, become a diehard. All right, we're going to take our next break. On the other side, we'll get into the beef of the week, Vinny, and also hear more from you. We also may hear from Zack Baun in the locker room explaining what happened on that penalty. Get your home ready for cozy season during Ashley's fall savings event happening now. Discover the season's warmest and coziest hot buys for every room in your home. From stylish living rooms to welcoming dining rooms to relaxing bedrooms, you'll find beautiful looks starting at just $2.99. And right now, buy today and pay later with no interest for 60 months, because fall isn't just a season, it's a feeling. Visit your local Ashley showroom and start saving today.
Whether your team wins or not, and today, unfortunately, they did not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. You can check out brand new casino games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, a BetParx exclusive. The only app I ever play with my favorite casino games in the palm of my hand. You can play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, hot online slots. Bo, I said that correctly. Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, Cleopatra, and online slots. New users can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus pack if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and the excitement from the casino right at your fingertips. Must be 21 and in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play, you play to win, you bet with BetParx. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get your home ready for cozy season during Ashley's fall savings event happening now. Discover the season's warmest and coziest hot buys for every room in your home. From stylish living rooms to welcoming dining rooms to relaxing bedrooms, you'll find beautiful looks starting at just $299. And right now, buy today and pay later with no interest for 60 months, because fall isn't just a season, it's a feeling. Visit your local Ashley showroom and start saving today. All right, back on the PHLY Eagles postgame show presented by Bet365 and Ashley, live from the Xfinity Lounge. Let's check out some of the super chats that are rolling in as everybody's just revved up about this loss. Brandon Martin, we need to be more skibbity. For real. Ong more gyat.
Hell yeah, Brandon Martin.
I am not cool enough to know what's going on. Vinny,
For real.
You got any?
Oh my God. Yeah. Skeet? I don't know what he's saying.
He also says we need to sign Kadarius Toney or Cam Sims ASAP. Well, what's interesting is they have a guy who they claimed off waivers, Xavier Gipson, who's supposed to be a kickoff return and return specialist, and he's just loitering on the inactives.
It does feel like the
Go
Eagles
get him. Let him play. I don't know.
return game is being like targeted.
Meanwhile, they trade 2 picks for Tank Bigsby because they say he's the best kickoff returner in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
How's your dog, Vinny?
Missing.
Hopefully that ransom note comes in.
I'm telling you, man. It's just, you know what it is? In the chat can vouch for this. It's been a long time since we lost, so it's
the first time I tweeted it out.
Crazy, bro.
I mean, it has literally been
a calendar year, 371 days.
Since they lost the game that
damn.
Jalen Hurts started and finished.
371 days.
And then we had an opportunity to win, and the ref for that game to be going flag for flag for flag. In the time that we needed the flag, you didn't pull the flag, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
wild.
how riots start. Seriously,
what?
That's how riots start. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It's an
Polar
unfamiliar
Jam
feeling.
with the super chat also says Tank Bigsby trade continues to pay dividends for the Jaguars. Tough. All right. It's time for our righteous felon beef of the week. Now, righteous felon, the beef of the week is like their employee of the week, but here we let Vinny Curry decide which lineman gets the beef of the week. And this week we're gonna do it in conjunction with a little righteous felon.
A little beef of the week.
Unboxing, a little OG Hickory.
Oh yeah.
Snap into a meat stick. There we go.
Skylar, my daughter's watching, and she was very excited that they got the meat stick shout.
It is so much higher quality than what you think of.
Let me see. Let me open this.
I mean, you can tell it's higher quality. The snap is like it doesn't taste fake. Oh, fantastic! All right, who are you giving it to, Vinny?
I'm gonna go with Zaire Smith.
First sack.
Listen, first sack got us in the whole sack column.
Yep.
And that was a cool game that they ran. Like, the stunt that they ran, it was perfect on both sides. He got there and he showed some juice. I liked it. So you are my pick for beef of the week.
And
OG
appropriate
Hickory.
that the OG Hickory goes to the OG.
I was going to
on
say,
the defensive line, Zadarius Smith.
Yeah, and Ojolari, got in the mix a little bit too.
Yeah, he's alive, turns out.
Yeah, he's on the team. Yeah.
Lane got to play and finish the game for the first time in 3 weeks. That was nice.
Yeah, the offensive line, maybe they need some more righteous felon. I don't know. It feels like.
Yeah, but one thing with them injuries, I wish we could have seen a little bit more chips, because Denver Broncos got one of the best defensive lines in football. So.
Yeah. I think that's totally fair. Julia, do we have the Zack Baun video that we can play? Any minute.
Handsome Rich in the locker room getting
Handsome Rich making it happen in the locker. What's that? Yeah, congratulations to Zadarius Smith for the beef of the week.
And
the
Rich also
highest
got
honor of his career.
Video of AJ talking about stopping his route running too.
Right. Well,
Rich has got good positioning this week in the locker room. He must be elbowing
the man
people
is
out
coming
of the way.
to play. At least somebody in Philadelphia is playing this weekend. Thank you, Handsome.
Yeah, this is a pretty bad weekend.
I mean, the chance to go 0 for 3 in 3 days.
Oof. I mean, the supporter shield for the Union.
Yeah, you're right.
Salvaged
Here
it.
comes the parade.
Hang the banner.
No offense. All right, we're gonna play it. We haven't listened to the audio yet, so
I don't think Rich is sending anything inappropriate.
Short yardage situation. He was fighting for extra yards, and we're taught to cap off on those type of situations. I didn't think he was down. One ref threw the flag, and it was an objective penalty, I think.
Zach, the Broncos.
Or subjective.
So you didn't agree with the penalty then?
I thought it could have gone either way.
and the Broncos coming roaring back in that second half, 15 on the inside points. Can you put your finger on why that offense was able to be so efficient in the second half against your guys' defense?
Honestly, you really have to watch the film to see where they were attacking us. Just from leaving the field, I think they found one-on-one opportunities and they were able to run the ball efficiently.
In the fourth quarter, obviously, that flag, saying their drive, you had 2 flags on offense that took first downs off the board. How do you think the penalties affected the game today?
Yeah, a lot of the penalties were honestly just dumb mistakes by us. We can't be making those silly mistakes, and unfortunate that I made one of them, and then on offense there were a few too, so we just got to not make those mistakes.
As a captain and just as an organization team that prides itself on being disciplined, a lot of those, like we said, those mistakes were self-inflicted. Just how frustrating is that to kind of swallow, knowing a lot of that stuff was on you guys? It's
frustrating, but it's also something that we can fix. So, it's a mentality of focusing on the small details. Honestly, I think that's the bright side of it, that we're able to fix them.
Were you surprised when they decided to go for 2 when they scored that tying touchdown?
That's kind of Sean Payton's thing. He's aggressive, and we knew that coming in.
You guys haven't lost your LINC since September of last year. Just this feeling of unconventional after this really long winning streak you guys had.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, when you lose games, especially at home, it really hurts. Especially games that you feel like you should have won. But it's just back to the drawing board. We know we got to get rid of those penalties late in the game, and just continue with our process.
And the message to all of us really the past, it seems like 3 weeks, is yes, this team is undefeated, going in this game 4-0, but you guys kept preaching greatness to us. It's going to sound like a weird way to ask this, but did you almost see this coming, that if you didn't fix the mistakes, a loss was on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, if you make mistakes and you habitually are making mistakes, then they're going to come back to bite you in the butt. And if we don't get those corrected, it's going to hurt us. And today it did.
Quick turnaround this week.
All right.
He didn't really fall on the sword.
No.
He's with me. He thought it was lame.
And more
Speak
to
your
the point,
truth, Zach.
he said that's what they're taught to do.
Yeah.
Which is what I said. That's if he's fighting for extra yard, that's when you go for the ball. I mean, he mistimed it by like a half a second.
But it's bang bang. Like I don't think you can expect athletes to be like superhuman in that moment. Vinny, you've been in this situation. What's it like?
I've been in that situation.
Yeah.
And when we played the LA Chargers, I've been in that situation.
Explain.
Before they got the new stadium, it was kind of dark.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've been in that situation, and I've been in the situation, we call it a court, but on the phone, trying to plead my case.
Okay.
Well, I won.
Did you?
Yeah. You know, it was the shadows, and they had dark pants on, and it looked like he still was up.
Oh.
Trying to punch the ball out.
And you got flagged.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got fined, but then you won the fine?
The fine was nasty. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how much? If you won, you mean you didn't have...
It was like 25,000 or something like that, like 23,000. I'm like, damn. Yeah. But I won though. Shout out to the
I mean, how hard is that to pull yourself up in a situation like that?
Yeah.
Like when you're running full speed, super hard.
Yeah,
So
like it's impossible.
You know, who was the guy? Travis Benjamin?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And you know, he was a little dude.
Yeah.
So it was like, damn. So when it happened, he sold it perfectly. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I mean, it's bang bang. It's not like it's not like, you know, those ones where the quarterback like slides into the strike zone or something like that. I mean, he lowers to go down. It's like it's an extra emphasis from him.
Was it Mims or whoever it was?
Yeah. And by the way, great tackle by Makuba in the open field. That was a huge play.
I mean, he was lunging for an extra yard.
Right.
Like
it was RJ. It was RJ Harvey, I believe.
It was RJ.
Yeah.
Maybe because the form was out. I don't know.
I think that's part of it.
And then nowadays, you know, it's everything above the neck.
Yeah.
So lame.
Yeah, that's tough. All right. Well, speaking of guys answering for you know, something they did in the game, I think Handsome Rich also has video for us.
Did you see EJ creeping in the background?
Yeah, it was nice to see EJ. AJ Brown, I believe, in the beginning of this interview, discussing why he stopped running full speed on that play downfield.
It's
AJ, on that missed pass down the middle from Jalen to you, what happened on that play?
From my point of view, we just missed.
It looked like you slowed up on the play. Did you not think the ball was coming your way, or what happened with that?
I didn't think the ball was coming. When I looked up, I didn't see the ball. And I looked back, I didn't see the ball. And then the ball was thrown. So, like I said, we just missed.
Did you guys talk after the play about maybe miscommunication, what happened?
In a game like this that is that close, is that one of those plays that you'll kind of think about from this one?
Yeah, because it's a big play, but there's so much more that you can look at and determine what we didn't do well there. So.
Why do you think you guys gave up a 17-3 lead in the fourth quarter?
I don't know, man. That's a crazy question.
You ram.
Yeah, we started out really good. We thought about
Man, that's a crazy question.
Just in finishing the second half, just the inconsistency showed up again.
What do you think all losses are frustrating, AJ, but the ones where it feels like you guys shot yourself in the foot a lot and almost beat yourselves? We give them credit, but obviously things you could have done differently. How much more frustrating are those ones?
Yeah, it's frustrating because most of the things were self-inflicted, and we beat ourselves, especially in the second half. So.
There were deep shots in this game that you guys would take, and why? Why do you feel like those were there in this game?
Why?
In terms of Denver was doing what you guys were doing.
Oh, they was playing man-to-man. Something, what we wanted, and they gave it to us.
DeVonta said a few times about not being on the same page. Did you see that in this game?
I don't know. That's something from those two. I mean, if he said that, so he probably thought that, but
you didn't feel that was an issue?
Me. I think he probably talking about like a signal, one or two plays or something.
The beginning of the game, the passing game was clicking. Do you feel like you took steps in the right direction, maybe in stuff that had been hurting you earlier in the season, to have that success early, or?
I mean, obviously we can learn from what we did well. Kind of what I just said, the inconsistency showed up again, and we got to play full court, and we have to stop putting a lot of pressure on our defense because they're playing really good, but we just got to pull our in. So at times we did, and then the second half we just stalled out. So there's a lot of things to work on, continue to get better.
How frustrating is that? I mean, it seems like every game you guys go through like a dry spell.
Yeah.
In the passing game. I mean, are you seeing, what are you seeing in those situations?
I won't give you my frustration, but it's just something to work on, something to continue to harp on and continue to have a sense of urgency with getting better in this area, so we can improve and get this thing rolling.
You guys had success going up tempo in this one, and it seems like maybe the penalties instead kind of kept you from doing it. Was that part of the plan and part of the problem?
Penalties or tempo?
Or not being able to get to the tempo?
Very funny.
I mean, that is a crazy question to ask the wide receiver.
Yeah. Now, he's also not really taking accountability for slowing up on that route.
No, he's not.
9 times out of 10, he probably thought that ball was going
right
to somebody else.
But one time out of 10, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough look after this week.
I'm surprised it didn't sound like he was asked about the final play, which is interesting to me. I mean, literally both guys have their hands on the ball with a chance to win the game, and they're fighting over it. I mean, I assume that's just their Hail Mary protocol, but
yeah, you usually want to stack.
How close did you think you were?
Yeah, that's tough because I did think in real time, I thought DeVonta had it for a second, and the Bronco got their hand in, but it might have been AJ and his right hand.
I'm surprised they sent them to the same place.
Yeah, you usually want to stack them a little bit, right? So
I would put, you'd put AJ in one corner and DeVonta in the other.
I have a
because it's only 30-something yards, so it's not like the ball's going to be in the air forever. It's not like the whole defense can rally to the ball. I would think you would spread them out and say, okay, DeVonta's better at going up to get the ball. Let's give it to DeVonta.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. I don't know. Or call a real play. But
I mean, Tony Romo said it. They practice that 30-yard and in play all the time in practice.
Yeah, Romo be at their practice.
Mm.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Sling it back.
just kidding.
Slinging back Corona
Just
in the corner.
Just being funny, man. It just seemed like anything we did, Romo had something to say.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, you're going to like this. We have a tweet up from Chris Franklin. Shout out to Chris. Great guy. NJ Advanced Media. The Eagles have now lost the last 3 games, officiated by a crew led by Adrian Hill. The Commanders game last year, the team's wild card game lost to Tampa in the 23-24 season, and today. Says the Eagles blew that game with pre-snap penalties, offensive issues, and other things.
That's all I needed.
It's certainly not why they lost that Bucs wild card game, but yeah. Now they didn't call. If you think back to the Commanders game, they didn't call the roughing on Jalen when he got injured.
Maybe the chat and the tweet found my dog. Maybe Adrian Hill found my dog. Damn.
Did you have refs you didn't like, Vinny?
Nah. I thought I did. I
Somebody came to mind for you.
Yeah, listen. I know y'all remember in Green Bay.
You're not going to get a fine for
the
this.
ref the hug?
Yes.
Yo,
I do remember that.
Oh, man. Yo, man. Sometimes the ref just need a hug. Oh, man. Sometimes the ref need a hug, man.
All right, so say the locker rooms, like, they're all kind of feeling a little pissy about the refs this week. You can tell us the truth. You guys talk about that stuff, right?
Gotta kill the Giants, man. Winning cures everything.
Yeah. But there's some sour taste in the locker room.
Oh, for sure. The way they lost. Yeah, they got.
But
if you call
specific.
if you listen to the refs, if the ref called that penalty of Dallas getting tackled, you at the 3 or 4 yard line, we punched it in.
Mm-hmm.
We punched it in with Bo's favorite play. Just saying.
I don't know. They would have been too far for the tush push, I think.
They would have been at like the 3 roughly.
And they probably would have had time for 2 plays. Because there was what, like 7 seconds left?
Yeah, I want to say that. Goodell's script went a little too far today. There was just too many timely penalties. Raj went crazy on this one.
Dom with the super chat. Not that Dom. Says Denver 12 penalties for 120 yards. Philly 5 penalties for 45 yards.
Yeah, there's some Broncos fans in the chat here. Enjoy it. Hang the banner.
Well, thanks for watching the show, Dom. I already mentioned that.
And we're getting it in our All City Slack. And I said, this honestly feels pretty good. You know, you weren't going to win every game.
Oh, it's cute for them.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Hang the banner.
Oh, good win for you.
First loss in 371
You're shine from us.
days.
Yeah.
You know.
How adorable.
I just sent back the Super Bowl banner. I didn't even need to say anything.
Okay. I mean, I'm still the best quarterback in Philadelphia named Bo. That's the truth. Vinny, what do you think? What do you think the locker room's going to be like?
Oh, I think the locker room's pissed, but you got to have a short-term memory right now, being that, you know, you got a division opponent, you know, on Thursday. So, listen, let it dwell, let it hurt to about 10:30 tonight. Wake up tomorrow, get ready for the Giants.
How much is the short week on your mind right after a game like this?
Oh, we own it heavy. Yeah, heavy. Heavy. They got to make a statement with that, especially, you know, against the Giants. You know, you go in there, you make a statement, and they do what we do. We come back to the show. We all happy. Everybody's happy. The super chat is going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there part of you as a player that likes the short week to get that 10-day kind of, you know, as they call it, a mini buy type of thing? Like, all right, this is going to suck for the next 48 hours, but we do have 10 days off after that.
I think how talented the Eagles are, I think it's going to help them figure a couple things out. I think, you know, find some type of happy medium or type of balance and, you know, starring and featuring all these players, you know, so everybody's happy and everybody's eating, you know. They said one thing today that, listen, somebody like Jalen Hurts has never had the same play caller in his whole career. That's pretty tough.
It's wild. Yeah. I'm not putting this game on Patullo.
Nope.
I know that people are coming after him.
I'm surprised by that reaction from people.
I mean, it was a lot of first down passes, the most they've ever had since AJ Brown's been here, as we talked about. And I didn't think all of those plays were great, but a lot of them were successful.
Yeah.
And listen, we've been dying for them to throw the ball on 3rd and long, And the deal with that is sometimes you take sacks, which they did, and sometimes you get a 52-yard completion to DeVonta Smith that sets up a touchdown, right? I'll take 1 for 4 if that's the deal.
Right.
Yeah, it did seem like that play to DeVonta kind of like reestablished the offense being back in a way, and then it just kind of fizzled again in the third quarter into the fourth. It's just they were so close to getting 4 quarters all together.
I know. Vinny, how do you feel about the concept of a good loss? Like maybe this loss will turn out to be good for us. Will get us to reevaluate some things. Do you think that is
when you look at it, what are you reevaluating? You don't shoot yourself in the foot, you win this football game.
Yeah.
I just think they have a lot of the only thing you can reevaluate is what you want to say, play more discipline. I thought, maybe a little bit more sense of urgency in the second half. I think the first half they was fired up. Second half it didn't look too much from where we were watching the game at. That's tough.
I don't know. I mean, I think part of the reason it's good they have a short week is that if there is some drama in the locker room, there's not time to let it fester this week. No. Like they got to just get back to work right away. Give us the beats of a short week for a player?
Oh man, tomorrow come in, practice, probably walkthrough. The first meeting you probably watch maybe a couple clips of this game. Then you go right into the Giants game planning. And then Tuesday night, another walkthrough. Wednesday, you're out of here.
It's quick. It is a quick week. Jeez,
yeah.
Like that's gonna be here before we know it already.
Yeah.
And you got Jackson Dart. You play a Bo and a Jackson Dart. How about that?
2 smarmy young white guys.
It
Yeah.
just sucks, man. I told you, I feel like somebody lost your dog. You can just feel if we feeling like this, imagine how that stadium felt.
Yeah. They're angry. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that's you let that one get away. Like you had it. You had it kind of easily.
Some more super chats to get to. Cash Squatch. Turkeys on Dallas winning the NFC East. Their offense is on fire. They put up 37 on the Jets today. They're now 2-1.
Ooh.
You're not worried?
No.
Wow. Absolute no sell.
Are you?
From the panel. I don't think they're going to win the division.
So how many turkeys you putting on it?
How many turkeys would I put on it? 23 turkeys.
Ooh.
Fresh Prince. What about the DeJean strip sack that they overturned? Good question.
Oh, I forgot about
so many
that.
inflection points this game. I don't want to blame the refs, but I hate them. I think that is the perfect way to think about it. Don't blame the refs, but hate them.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yes.
I think that's great. That's refreshing.
I do think his arm was slightly coming
I know
forward.
that was, and what a play from Cooper DeJean too.
What a play! I saw
attacking the arm like an edge rusher.
I think he was blitzing from the slot there on that play. Really impressive, but yeah, I do think his arm was just coming forward.
I think so too. I mean, like
it was close,
infinitesimally, but yes,
it was real close. But that one I wasn't. There was plenty of other plays from the ref that I was pissed about. So that one I could tolerate.
And a super chat from Michael Nittickman, just giving us a little bit of a
go birds,
of a nice, kumbaya, go birds.
Yeah,
I mean, they are 4-1. You're allowed to lose one game a year.
You're not going to win every
Jalen
game.
Hurts starts and finishes. Yeah. Meanwhile, I thought he made a great throw on the touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley, which shout out to Mina Kimes for calling that out. That the running backs against this Broncos defense were a way to attack. It was a nicely designed thing.
Yeah, very nice play. Was that wasn't a first down play, was it?
Ooh, it might have been. It was first or second down. Let me look it up.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. Shout out to Mina for calling that one, saying attack the linebackers through the passing game.
2nd and 4.
And on a former Eagle.
A former Eagle, Alex Singleton.
Yeah. Alex, you my man, but you didn't stand a chance.
Yeah,
Against my boy
that's
Saquon.
a tough assignment.
Yeah.
We finally got a Saquon.
I ain't gonna lie. Alex, you better than me. I would have got a defensive pass interference. I would have tripped him up. Live to fight another day.
Red card. Yeah. All right. Let's take our last break to hear from our sponsors. EJ Smith is right now talking to Nick Sirianni, and then he's going to race upstairs to the press box to let us know what he hears from Zack Baun, from Jalen Hurts, from A.J. Brown, from DeVonta Smith, what the refs said about some of the controversial calls. AJ will be with us in just a little bit. But first, a word from our sponsors. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Right now is the perfect time to stock up with the exceptional handcrafted flavor and convenience of Omaha Steaks. Why now? Well, one, it's fall. That means it's grilling season, and you want good product to feed your family, to taste good on the grill, and Omaha offers that. And two, you get $35 off a deal that's already 50% off at Omaha Steaks. We're talking grass-fed, grain-finished beef that has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917, and you can get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks by visiting omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Red Hot Sale event. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code EAGLES at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code EAGLES at checkout. See site for details.
And let me tell you about the best hats in the game, and that's the branded Bills hat. We have a custom PHLY branded Bills hat. There's one on the shelf up here with Penn State, who happens to not be in the AP Top 25 anymore, but that's neither here nor there. But branded Bills, whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. These are sturdy hats, and I'm a hat guy. These are so comfortable. And if you're looking for gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear for your company, your family outings, whatever it is you're looking for. Start your order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. And they have a partnership with Penn State as part of their campus collection, along with a lot of others. Head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHLY for 15% off your first order.
All right, back on the PHLY Eagles postgame show. Let me get the snap counts for you guys. Because
Jordan Davis, I'm interested in. And Saquon Barkley, I'm relatively interested in too.
Okay. Give me 1 minute here.
Those are the two that jump out.
True Media hooking us up here.
I believe, Bo, 6 carries for Saquon and 0 logged rushes for Hurts. I just saw somebody in the chat talking about. That's a first.
That's correct. Two rushes for 3 yards for Jalen Hurts. Remember, he had 1 scramble early on. I don't know, but I don't think any designed runs for Jalen Hurts in this game is probably what they're referring to.
Yes.
All right, your defensive snap counts: 70 snaps for the defense. Once again, according to True Media, all 70 for Zack Baun, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and Andrew Makuba. So he remains the full-time second safety, no rotating with Sidney Brown with base. Jahad Campbell plays 67 of the 70 snaps. Jalen Carter, 63 of the 70 snaps. That's a quiet 63 snaps from Jalen Carter.
Yeah, wow. 63.
63. Whew. That's literally 90% of the snaps. And
he jumped on that one.
Yeah.
That's probably his biggest play from the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he had impacts other ways I missed, but
Keely Ringo with 58. Jalex Hunt, 41. Jordan Davis, 40. So Jordan Davis played a good amount of snaps in this game. Moro Ojimo, 35. Azeez Ojulari, 33 snaps. That's a lot of snaps. That's 1 more than Zadarius Smith. 27 for Josh Uche. 15 for Byron Young. 7 for Patrick Johnson. 1 for Adoree Jackson, and 1 for Ty Robinson.
Vinny, when it's a guy like that hasn't contributed and even been active all year in Ojulari, and then he comes into the game and he out-snaps Uche, who's played all 4 weeks. He's out-snapped Zadarius Smith, who's been out-snapping him. Is that, do you think, coaching particular to the matchup, or is that
Or it could have been because of the rotation the way it is. That's one of those just like, hey, come get me, or you know what I mean. So if it happened more than next game, then I'd probably be like, oh, what's going on over there? But right now it could be like a player thing. So it could be just the way the rotation was going.
All right, I'll give you the offensive snaps if you want.
Yeah.
55 for the offense. All of them for Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jalen Hurts, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen. 54 for DeVonta, 51 for A.J. Brown, 43 for Brett Toth, 42 for Dallas Goedert, 39 for Saquon, 39 for Dotson, 21 for Kylan Granson, 12 for Landon Dickerson, 8 for A.J. Dillon, 8 for Will Shipley, 7 for Grant Calcaterra, 4 for John Mechie, 2 for Cameron Latu. Calcaterra also suffered a game-ending injury in the first half.
Yeah. What was Saquon again?
39 and 55.
Okay. And 8 and 8 for Shipley and Dillon?
Yes. They had some success with 12 personnel in that first field goal drive, I believe, and then didn't really live in it after that. It felt like.
Yeah, 6 carries for Saquon is going to be talked about this week. Now the Hoagie Mouse out there will revert back. You can't have a guy like Saquon Barkley and only give it to him 6 times. So get ready for that. That'll be fun.
What do you remember the Suns? Run the damn ball.
Yeah, roll the blunt.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
Just in terms of a quarterback comparison, Julia, just how these guys finished this game. Jalen Hurts, 23 of 38 for 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a 100.0 or a 100.8 quarterback rating. Bo Nix, 24 of 39 for 242 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, and 87.8 quarterback rating. What did you think of Bo Nix, Vinny?
I thought Bo Nix looked at poise out there.
Yeah.
I think he did, man.
Okay, you give him more credit than I do.
He wasn't under pressure.
You know what throw he made that was really nice was the 3rd and long over the middle to Cortland Sutton. You know, that was timed well. That was another one where, like, you know, I mean, gee, I would love to.
I just say he looked poised out there. His like. What I mean by that is that he had time to make something happen.
Okay.
You know, and check it. You know.
The rush was not affecting him.
Right. I think he outplayed Jalen? Nah. You know I stand on that one.
Of course not. Yeah.
He just didn't look under pressure. Didn't look distressed.
No.
And Philadelphia, we're known to make quarterbacks look stressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a fierce pass rush. It's not.
This is crazy. I can't even believe we even still talking about the pass rush issue.
I'm curious to see, and I will look this up now, what Vic's blitz percentage in this game was. Because, Zack Baun had a sack. And they sent guys.
Had the strip sack.
Right. And I think he has to do that to try to manufacture rush.
Is that what we're doing, or are we depending on linebackers and DBs to make this?
I think you're feeling some kind of way about this, Vinny. I think you might want to come back.
Whoa. Bring BG back.
Bo asked him this week.
I'm just saying. I seen him. I seen BG. He look good. Looking like he's still in shape.
He does look good.
Bring BGback.com.
Bring BGback.com. GoFundMe. Let's see.
What week is the trade deadline?
Poor Howie.
Week 10, 11?
They pushed it. I think 10 might be right.
It does feel like Howie's going to be working the phones a little bit here. Nolan Smith's due back around the second week in November.
The deadline is a month from now, November 4th.
And I think Nolan Smith is due back around November 10th.
He's definitely missed. Nolan, you're definitely missed.
No doubt about it.
I wonder what level of move they make.
I think Howie wants to do something big.
He always wants to do something. He's a gambler.
And they got a lot of draft picks.
We have another super chat from Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince.
Just join the supporters club.
Just come on the show. What are we doing? Last super chat. What about that drop in the bucket pass to Dotson? He didn't get both feet in, but it was crazy accurate. I think the offense can grow. That's exactly right. It was a great throw.
Yeah, I gave shout out to that play earlier. It's a shame that he it like wasn't a bobble, but it kind of was because it hit his hand and then he pulled it in because he did have his left foot down when he first caught it. And if they had considered it secured, he would have had 2 feet in. But that was a beautiful ball.
So a little bit surprising, according to True Media, Vic only blitzed 14% of the time on dropbacks in this game, which is only the second fewest of the 5 games this season. So week 1, he didn't blitz a lot. That was 12%. The last 3 games, he was over 20%. This game was back down at about 14. So,
so it makes it. That goes to our point of how he looked like. He had a couple more time than usual.
Yeah,
that we used to seeing at the LINC.
That's true. All right, EJ is getting in position, so we'll hear from him shortly. Julia, it seems like we got a little. We got some invaders.
Oh, they super chatted? Well, we appreciate that. BG Jizzle.
Okay. I mean, it's nice to have that pathetic of a life, yeah.
I mean, hit that thumbs up while you're in here, Broncos fans.
Yeah, subscribe.
Please, like and subscribe.
Yeah, Broncos fans like it.
But if you're a Broncos fan, wouldn't you be watching our sister station right now? Like, shouldn't you be watching DMVR and enjoying the late win? To each their own, I guess. But hit that thumbs up while you're in here.
I mean, go make some friends. I know there aren't that many Broncos fans, but now is the time to find them. You know?
Somebody said they're smoking cigars in the Denver locker room. I hope that's true.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I mean, I don't know if that's just tongue-in-cheek chat talk or it'd be very funny if they were.
But, I mean, Vinny, that speaks to the thing that you've talked about is when you're the defending champs, right? Every week, you're somebody's, like, number one target.
Oh, absolutely. But you're going to smoke cigars where the game was decided on a freaking tackle and come on, don't do that. Don't do that. A couple of those calls. Listen, you want to smoke cigars on some questionable calls with the refs? Then be my guest. I'm starting to get pissed off now. EJ's here.
All right. We've stalled long enough. Finally, Mr. Fall is here. Our Eagles insider, EJ Smith, joining us on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. Oh, did you get rid of the... Oh, no, you still got it. It's not peeking out from the collar. But it's nice to see you, EJ.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, you're right. I got to look presentable.
What's up, E?
Now we're talking.
What's up, guys? How's the mood? How's the mood in the studio today?
Vinny's down bad.
Vinny says it feels like someone stole his dog.
Yeah.
Stole your dog.
It's been a long time since the Eagle lost.
Yeah, no, it has been a minute.
371 days, EJ.
All right, EJ. You talked to a lot of people. You talked to Jalen. You talked to Nick Sirianni. You talked to guys in the locker room. I think you have some pool report news for us. Why don't we start there? Because everybody is talking about the refs after this game. What plays did they talk about and what did they say?
Yeah, so I think the one that stood out the most in the post-game locker room was the illegal motion on Saquon Barkley. When we first got down there, I think there were some people who sort of actually thought it was on Saquon, like in a literal sense. Like obviously it was called on him, but if you were to attribute blame to him, it would be misguided. And I think the indication from the pool report, it's not out yet. Zack Baun, I know who. Sorry, Back Zerman.
What?
He's our pool reporter.
The official pool reporter, I think, is what you. I mean, that's
yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't put it out quite yet, but talking
sounds
to him,
like he's not working hard enough.
Slacking.
I mean, that's
Oh,
the
no.
pool reporter's job is to prioritize that for the rest of the media. Where an hour and a half after the game, you would think that the pool
Listen,
reporter.
there's a lot of answers that we needed to get. So, 2 players. Basically, the reason that Saquon got called for that penalty is because somebody was not set, and I believe it was Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
I talked to AJ and DeVonta about it.
Fran
They
broke
both
it down
were
for
like-
us. It was
Yeah.
Dotson. Yeah.
Yeah, they both said that they had nothing to do with it. Jalen said that was a situation where they were at the mercy of the play clock, and talked about how this has been a habit with the team. Sorry, I shouldn't attribute that to him. That just it is a fact that it has been a habit with the team. And then he said it was basically an operation thing. Nick Sirianni has said the same thing and said that they weren't set when Saquon started his motion, which is why they were called for the penalty. I found it interesting that Jalen was asked directly, like, because he said he took accountability for the fact that they come to the line so late so often. And then what really stood out to me is he was asked if the calls are getting in late, and Jalen took a long pause, really thought it through, and then he says, "It on time is relative."
Oh, wow.
But then he said, I get the calls and I have to make it work. I got to make it happen with whatever the calls are. But he did say he started his answer with a long pause. And saying, on time is relative. It's not no, like
That's
it's not the calls aren't on time.
EJ.
But
I mean, in Jalen speak,
on time relative.
You can.
That's a lot for him.
That's a lot for him, don't you think?
It leaves space for interpretation, is what I would say.
It doesn't leave that much interpretation. I feel like that's as direct as he gets.
Yeah, that's why I led with it. I found it interesting.
That's
For the record, Nick Sirianni said when asked if the calls are getting in late, he said that it's a multitude of things, and he said that they're going to find solutions, not assign blame. So yeah, but it is 100% been something. I thought the theme of Jalen's press conference was basically what he said at the very beginning, which is that some things that he said some things that didn't get you until they something. Sorry, I'm not doing a good job reading my chicken scratch here. He says some things don't get you until they get you. And that was kind of the theme of what he was talking about. Talked about execution being a problem for the offense. And yeah, I mean, the play clock thing, like that is a perfect example of like something that doesn't get you until it gets you.
Now, what did Jalen and Nick and everybody else say about the offensive game plan? Because it was a starkly different offensive game plan than we saw the first 4 games. The most pass heavy they've been since AJ got here. And the RPOs were back, more downfield shots. What did Jalen say about that?
Yeah, the sense I got from Jalen and AJ and DeVonta even in particular is that they came into this game. Jalen didn't offer much. He said that that's just the way the game flowed. But AJ and DeVonta talked about the fact that they saw a lot of man coverage today, and that was something they were planning for. And I think that is reflective in how they approached this game, where they wanted to take advantage of those man-to-man matchups. Now, the RPO usage doesn't really align with that as much, but it was definitely a big element of what they did. I found it interesting. Jalen talked about a 2nd and 1 bubble screen that he threw. I don't have the play result, but I think it ended in a loss. And he talked about how that was the wrong decision. He said he could have easily, handed that ball off and kept them on schedule, but he threw the bubble and they lost yards on it. So, I think that again,
I remember that play,
factor,
and it actually should have worked. Like Mailata misses a block, AJ misses a block, and I think it should have been fine. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess, but when you probably, if you're Jalen, if you're looking at the stat sheet after the game, you see that Saquon's only got six carries. You probably feel like maybe there were a few times where he pulled where he probably should have handed the ball off to Saquon. But yeah, I think the matchup, expecting man coverage, really factored into them being willing to take those deep shots. And I mean, obviously some of the penalties negated some of them, but they were successful on some of those. I know you guys will probably want to hear about AJ on the one that they didn't hit on, the one where he slowed up. AJ basically said that it was a miscommunication. He said that he turned to look for the ball and the ball wasn't on the way. And then he said he looked again and it still wasn't on the way. And that is, the result of what happened. So, and Jalen basically said that they're going to have to watch the tape back. But yeah, that one to me. I mean, I can give you the answers, but to me, like AJ's got to run his route. It's not a matter of like he looked back, saw the ball, and slowed up. I think that one is probably more nuanced than he suggested it is.
Yeah, I love AJ Brown. He's awesome. He takes enough other plays off to not take that play off.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that was his opportunity, and the fact that it doesn't hit because he slows up on his route. It's definitely tough.
Now, what about the final play of the game? Did they lament that? I mean, he and DeVonta had their hands on the ball.
Oh, sorry. No, not much about the final play of the game. The penultimate play to Dallas Goedert. Nick Sirianni, I found it interesting. He is usually pretty averse to talking badly about the refs. You know, his favorite thing is to say that they have a hard job to do, and he was aligned with that. You know, he basically said that he felt like he feels like the calls even themselves out. But and Dallas Goedert didn't have much else to add, and I only heard from him at the very beginning of his press conference or his media scrum, and he basically said that you know, that he didn't get a good explanation for it. Or the only thing I really heard from players about the calls that I thought was interesting is that Zack Baun, maybe you guys had already talked about this, but Zack Baun said that he felt like the personal foul penalty he was called for was subjective, is how he put it. He said he felt like it could have gone either way.
It was garbage, is what it was.
We actually got to see you in that video, EJ. Rich took a great video. We got to see the whole thing, and you're there before you were gone.
I feel like I was reaching it, and then I tried to. I made sure I was in on AJ today. That was important for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So what, I mean, if we're playing, you know, couples therapist after the week that AJ and Jalen had, how do you feel like things went today?
I mean, not great. Obviously, I feel like the fact that the missed shot like play was mostly on you lay that at the feet of AJ probably doesn't pour as much fuel on the fire as if it had been the other way. But I don't know. AJ talked a lot about self-inflicted wounds after this one. You know, he talked about the fact that they're just not on the same page and that there's inconsistency in the passing game. It was actually DeVonta that really talked about like miscommunications. You know, not seeing signals, not being on the same page because they are not really able to communicate at the line, which probably also leads into them getting to the line late. But specifically with Jalen and AJ, I mean, I don't know. I think that there were some encouraging steps, especially in that first half, for the way the passing game looked and his involvement in it. But I mean, he finishes this game with, what is it, 5 catches for 43 yards, and really that stat line hinges on the fact that shot play did not hit. You know, if he catches that one and he runs into the goalposts, his stat line looks a lot different. I think the fact that it probably is on AJ probably keeps this from, again, being like inflamed. But yeah, it's still kind of business as usual as far as I'm concerned with those two.
EJ, we had some people in the chat a little upset with Kevin Patullo's game plan today. What did you make of the offensive strategy / game plan today?
Yeah, you know, I think if anything, I actually didn't. I felt like they did some good things in the first half, especially. You know, like the RPO usage, I thought made a lot of sense. It's something we've seen this offense be successful with. Obviously, they were more aggressive, which I think was good. They threw the ball on a 3rd and long situation, which you know, is definitely promising. But I'll be honest with you, like, to me, I don't know if this is so much a Kevin Patullo reflection as it is like the Eagles just don't have a run game right now. I think that was my biggest takeaway. Is that
Saquon
6
rushes is wild.
Saquon had 6 carries for 30 yards, and honestly, like, I kind of understand why. They're behind the sticks so often, and they just are not. They're not able to keep themselves on schedule with the run game in a way that it's just really not like an Eagles team that I can remember. So I mean, I understand the criticisms of Kevin Patullo and the fact that the operation is not fixed 5 weeks into the season, the fact that there are so many miscommunications, and it's week 5 and these guys are still talking about not being on the same page. That is all reflective of the offensive coordinator. But I really feel like the biggest issue, the biggest thing that plagues this team right now is like they have a non-existent run game. You know, with like 12 or 13 minutes left in this game, you know, they have a 2 possession lead, and you just feel like this is a time where the Eagles can kill this game off. You know, we've joked like to call the 4-minute offense, it can be like a 10-minute offense. We've seen them do that before where they just salt away a game. The fact that they keep going 3 and out late in these games, I really do. I think that's the biggest honestly, it's the biggest concern I have about the Eagles offense. They're talented enough. You know, Jalen said that this isn't it's not a capability thing. They don't have a capability issue. In the run game, they might. You know, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that I find it hard to see this team, you know, winning games the way that they have in the past with the run game the way it is.
So where do you kind of assess the blame? Is it a little bit of everybody? Is it the run? Because Stoutland's in charge of the scheme and the blocking pattern, so that shouldn't have changed much. Is it part Patullo? Is it the offensive line being normal for the first time ever? Is it Saquon having 500 plus touches last year? Is it a combination of everything?
I don't think it's a Saquon workload thing. I think it is a little bit the offensive line is banged up. Obviously, Landon Dickerson leaves this game with an ankle injury, which you can add to the knee and the back injuries he's already been dealing with. So I think that's a big part of it. I got to see how Brett Toth played. I didn't have him in my notebook very much, which means he probably did okay. But I think in general, it's probably just a matter of like this team needs to figure out how other teams, have successful run games without having Pro Bowlers across the board. I think it's probably a little bit too talent dependent, if I had to guess. Again, I want to watch all this back, but to me, it's like the Eagles haven't had to scheme up on schedule plays for a long time because of the run game. And I think we're starting to see them trying to figure that out with how many RPOs they ran on early downs. But I don't know, especially against a team like the Broncos, you have to be multiple, and the Eagles' offense is not multiple right now. They are not an offense that has an identity. They are really still trying to figure that stuff out, and I think it has really caught up to them in second halves of games a lot this season.
I don't want this. I don't want the defense to get off the hook for this game because the offense could have. You shake your head. I mean, those were not great. That was not a great offense. The last two drives were not great. I know the offense put them in a tough spot, but you've got superstars. You need your superstars to play like superstars. Jalen Carter is hurt. He played 90% of the snaps, never sniffed the quarterback. Quinyon Mitchell gives up 2 huge completions in this game.
Oh, I completely disagree on your Quinyon point. I've seen
Zack
the stats
Baun
out there.
has a good game, but then he commits a terrible penalty. I'm sorry.
The Baun penalty to me was soft, so I don't really think you can fault him for it.
You can absolutely fault him for it.
The guy is reaching for the first down marker.
It was lame.
You want him to lay off? The
Yes.
Baun one aside. Quinyon Mitchell, to me, this is like, come on, Bo. Did you watch the game? Like, Quinyon was in tight coverage for almost all of those catches. This is where it's like, I see the final stat line, like, oh, Cortland Sutton had this, but it's like, I watched where Quinyon was on those completions. He's in tight coverage. Like, okay, maybe a little bit better at the catch point, but really, like, I don't know. I don't think you can really lay this at the feet of the defense. They were out there for 34 minutes of the game. They gave up 21 points. I don't know.
Against a mediocre offense, and they're supposed to be the best defense in football. I'm sorry.
They played like it for most of the game, but again, you're on the field for 34 minutes. I don't know.
They have no pass rush.
Especially the 3 and outs. They don't have any pass rush. But to me, you hold a team to 21 points while being on the field as long as they had, or as long as they were. I don't really think you can attribute much blame for the way that this game went. Like, I think that this one really does come down squarely on the fact that the Eagles offense could not stay on the field with a 2-possession lead in a way that we've always been able to. They've been able to do that for so long now. Not being able to lean on that. How many times are you going to put your defense on the field and ask them to bail you out?
You think I'm being unfair, Vinny?
No, I mean, no. Listen, you get paid. You get paid to make stops. This is like you got to understand, especially that in that last 2 minutes of the game is on the line. You got to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, listen, they clearly are going to want to play better, but
this team has to rise to the occasion. They're the defending champs.
Yeah, but they've got that much talent on the offensive side of the ball. Like, 17 points isn't enough. And not being able to stay on the field in the fourth quarter isn't enough.
We're a house divided. I'm more.
I'm just saying, Bo Nick scored what 14 points in 5 minutes. That was crazy.
Yeah, he had 160 passing yards basically all in the fourth quarter.
That can't happen.
I got some pool report stuff for you guys too.
Bjorn finally came through.
No, it's not. It didn't come through, but I do want to make sure we mention this.
Okay.
Apparently, there was an audio equipment malfunction on the intentional grounding call.
Yeah.
That's why they wouldn't announce what happened.
You got to be kidding me.
That is pathetic.
Because Jimmy Kemsky pointed this out to me.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. They wanted to get out of the stadium unharmed.
Yeah, so because you're not, I wasn't aware of this. Jamie Kemsky pointed this out to me. The replay assistant is not allowed to determine if there's a receiver in the vicinity. So the fact that it was overturned the original call was, I guess the original call was upheld. The flag was picked up because of the fact that once they huddled, they concluded that there was a receiver in the vicinity. They said that was because the referees couldn't communicate on the field. It was not replay assist that stepped in and said that there was a receiver in the vicinity.
So then why was it picked up after it was announced?
Because there was an audio equipment malfunction, so that they couldn't have talked about it until after they had huddled. That is what I to my understanding.
That is asinine. Will say. Then don't announce it yet. Wait till take a minute to talk to the guy face to face. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And then apparently on the Dallas Goedert pass interference, there was hand-to-hand contact. They thought both players had hand-to-hand contact there.
I mean,
give me a break.
One was tackled.
I mean, he was dragged down.
They missed the call. It's fine. They didn't think that it was rising to the occasion of a game-deciding call, which it would have been. But don't give me this.
Yeah, especially when you have the Zack Baun one. I know we disagree on the validity of the Zack Baun call, but yeah, that one was also a game-deciding call, and to me, it was really soft.
Soft.
And I'm not Mr. blame the refs guy. You know me. I stay out of
water's warm, EJ. Hop one in.
Yeah.
EJ, real quick, when you were down in the bowels, did you get any of the cigar smoke coming out of the Denver Broncos locker room?
I did not.
Yeah, this is wild. I mean, we've got Broncos fans in the chat who are.
This is crazy.
I mean, I'm sorry. It's week 5. This is how pathetic your fandom is. How sad your life is that you're celebrating a week 5 win like it's the Super Bowl. You're lighting cigars because now you're 3-2. Give me a break.
Yeah,
oh my God, I'm so desperate for relevance. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Nobody's gonna remember the Broncos, the 2025 Broncos, ever again after this year. This is a team that doesn't matter. So good for you. You get what is it? What is the Gen Z? What do we call this? EJ, you're stealing the
aura farming?
Oh yeah, they're aura farming from the Eagles. That's what's going on here.
I don't know if you used that one correctly, but I A for effort. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, give me a break.
It's pretty pathetic.
A footnote in history. Sean Payton went for 2 once. Let's throw a parade.
Hang the banners.
There's one time at band camp.
I mean, just give me a break. All right, EJ. What else do you have from the locker room? Let's start to wrap this.
I'm going through my notes here. No, I think we hit on most of it. I think we're good.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? One last thing. Okay. They have because it's a short week, they have these compression leg sleeve machines.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of, this is something that Nick's been doing for the last couple of years. But yeah, in the locker room, it's full of recovery equipment. Basically, guys are just going in there immediately. And I did take note that Saquon Barkley was the first one on one of those things, and he didn't talk until Nick was talking. Actually, probably because he got right in for the recovery side of things.
So did any of the guys talk about the short week and kind of flushing this turd and moving on already, or were they?
Yeah,
still
I don't know if. I don't know if many of those guys really leaned into I can't, thank God we play in a couple of days, we can flush it. But I'm sure there's a component to that. And I did Jalen did end his press conference saying he's confident that they'll get it fixed. He said it's because he was asked about the short week and he said it's about us and we'll get it fixed. I'm confident we will. So
I'm sorry. Last thing, EJ. What was Nick's general demeanor? And why did it take so long?
Why did he take so long is a good question. Obviously, it's been widely reported over the years that the coach usually meets with Jeffrey Lurie after the game. So I can't be certain why it took so long, but it did take him longer. Usually Jalen is the last one to go. I thought his demeanor was, critical of the way that the team played and really critical of himself because there were so many detail things. There are so many mistakes in the detail side of things where Nick really does harp on. So, I would say just generally critical of himself and, some of the ways that the lack of attention to detail manifested in the game.
Okay. What are we going to be reading on allphly.com tomorrow morning when the early bird lands on the homepage?
Yeah, I think I got to start with the Eagles offense, but I honestly it'll be a little bit of everything. Maybe I'll reconsider how the defense played since we disagree on that. But yeah, definitely getting into what ails this Eagles offense with as much talent as they have. Like Jalen said, it's not a capability issue. It seems like everything else around that is the issue right now.
All right. Well, EJ Smith.
EJ, somebody in the chat said the smoke machine game. They coined it already, so you can't have that one.
We have a super chat coming in, and it turns out it's not cigar. It's a smoke machine. Thanks to Cash Squatch.
That's
smoke machine might be even worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd rather it just be the cigars at that point.
We've also got Polar Jam, who says more like the kiddie pool reporter, and Money Moore, who says, "Good game, Philly. Your team is real tough. Go Broncos."
Thank you for the money.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. All right, EJ. Good stuff. Enjoy your trip to the orchard and your pumpkin picking and the pumpkin spice latte and all that good stuff with your beautiful fall outfit.
Thank you. I was, me and Jalen were the only two to wear sweaters today, so we're manifesting it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Yep.
See ya.
All right. Final thoughts, Vinny. I hope you find your dog. How we gotta turn this thing around in 4 days.
The final thoughts is this: we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. We win this game, so I'm very confident that we're going to be all right.
Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, first loss in 371 days. I've gotten to the point where this is actually a good thing. You weren't going to win them all. It's good to get one out of the way and start a new winning streak. So that and the refs are cowards and belong in jail.
I mean, listen, this is a bit of an inflection point of the season for the Eagles, right? We were not going to go undefeated. They were doing a lot of things that did not come home to roost, as EJ said. They got to fix those things. Maybe this is a wake-up call to some degree.
I think there was a lot of good stuff in it where I don't
they
feel
were the better
terrible.
team in this game. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're going to lose football games, like if you take a step back. But let's see how they respond.
Yeah. I mean, look, the Giants are – Jackson Dart is playing some good football. Cam Scatterbo is playing pretty well. Like
Giants, they just got blown out by the Saints in New Orleans.
Yeah,
like, let's put B to A here.
Yeah, let's go up there and kick their bleeping ass, and get that taste out of your mouth and start a new one.
And cross our fingers that nobody gets hurt on that terrible field, Vinny.
Death Life Field. Tell your boy Woody.
Vinny's shaking his head just thinking about it.
And it just redid that.
Yeah. What are owners doing? Just get grass. Stop it with the turf.
Man, I'm telling you.
Cheap.
It's crazy.
All right. The Eagles blow a 17-3 lead in the fourth quarter. Lose 21-17. Fall to 4-1 on the season. Their first loss in a calendar year in a game in which Jalen Hurts has started and finished. We'll see how they respond on Thursday night against the New York Giants, the second NFC East game of the season. Thanks to everybody for watching and listening and being active in the chat. We will talk to you tomorrow, breaking things down with EJ at 2 o'clock on the PHLY Eagles regular show. But for now, we say goodbye and thank you. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.